Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 7. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janaballabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paribrajakachaja Stotara Sata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 7. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Yada, whenever, yada, wherever. He certainly, dharmasya, of religion, glani, discrepancies, bhavati, manifested, becomes, bharata, or descendant of Bharata, abhyutanam, predominance, adharmasya, of irreligion, tada, at that time, atmanam, self, srijami, manifest, aham, I. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Whenever and wherever there is a decline of religious principles, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominating rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Wherever and whenever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Purport. The word Srijami is significant here. Srijami cannot be used in a sense of creation, because according to the previous verse, there is no creation of the Lord's form or body, since all the forms are eternally existent. Therefore, Srijami means that the Lord manifests himself as he is. Although the Lord appears on schedule, namely at the end of the Dwapara Yuga, of the 28th millennium of the 8th Manu, in one day of Brahma, still he has no obligation to adhere to such rules and regulations, because he is completely free to act in many ways as his will. He therefore appears by his own will whenever there is a predominance of irreligiosity and a disappearance of true religion. Principles of religion are laid down in the Vedas, and any discrepancy in the matter of properly executing the rules of the Vedas makes one irreligious. In the Bhagavatam, it is stated that such principles are the laws of the Lord. Only the Lord can manufacture a system of religion. The Vedas are also accepted as originally spoken by the Lord himself to Brahma from within his heart. Therefore, the principles of Dharma or religion are the direct orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. These principles are clearly indicated throughout the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of the Vedas is to establish such principles under the order of the Supreme Lord, and the Lord directly orders at the end of the Gita that the highest principle of religion is to surrender unto him only, and nothing more. The Vedic principles push one toward complete surrender unto him, and whenever such principles are disturbed by the demoniac, the Lord appears. From the Bhagavatam we understand that Lord Buddha is the incarnation of Krishna, who appeared when materialism was rampant and materialists were using the pretext of the authority of the Vedas. Although there are certain restrictive rules and regulations regarding animal sacrifice for particular purposes in the Vedas, people of demoniac tendency still took to animal sacrifice without reference to the Vedic principles. Lord Buddha appeared to stop this nonsense and to establish the Vedic principles of non-violence. Therefore, each and every avatar or incarnation of the Lord has a particular mission, and they are all described in the revealed scriptures. No one should be accepted as an avatar unless he is referred to by scriptures. It is not a fact that the Lord appears only on Indian soil. He can advent himself anywhere and everywhere and whenever he desires to appear. In each and every incarnation, he speaks as much about religion as can be understood by the particular people under their particular circumstances. But the mission is the same: to lead people to God consciousness and obedience to the principles of religion. Sometimes he descends personally, and sometimes he sends his bona fide representatives in the form of his son or his servant or himself in some disguised form. The principles of the Bhagavad Gita were spoken to Arjuna, and for that matter to other highly elevated persons, because he was highly advanced compared to ordinary persons in other parts of the world. 2 + 2 = 4 is a mathematical principle that is true both in the beginner's arithmetic class and the advanced class as well. Still, there are higher and lower mathematics. In all incarnations of the Lord, therefore, the same principles are taught, but they appear to be higher and lower in various circumstances. The higher principles of religions begin with the acceptance of the 4 orders and the 4 statuses of social life, as will be explained later. The whole purpose of the mission of incarnations is to arouse Krishna consciousness everywhere. Such consciousness is manifest and non-manifest only under different circumstances. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijami aham. Hare Krishna. So in this purport, Prabhupada covers several points. His first point is that religion is given by God. Because the purpose of religion is to understand God, the process of understanding Him is given by God. Just like if you want to understand me, then you have to know something about me. And that's something that is explained by me. That I am like this, I am like that, you can know me like this, you can know me like that. That will please me, that will not please me. So in the same way, God explains His nature, He explains His mission, He explains how we can connect with Him. And those explanations are called religion. And the original religion is called Veda, because Veda means knowledge. Because outside our relationship with Krishna, there is only illusion. There is only illusion because we are maintained by Krishna, we are parts of Krishna, we depend upon Krishna. That is a reality. And when we think we are independent, when we think that I can do whatever I want, that I can ignore God, that I can enjoy His property without rendering homage and respect, then that is illusion, because it's not based on reality. Just like if I think I am this body, that I am a man, I am from this country or that country, this is not reality. It's like identifying with a costume. That an actor, he goes on the stage and he dresses in the robes of a king with a turban and a sword and a mitre and gorgeous clothing and jewels, and he thinks, I am a king. No, he is not the king. He is acting as the king. The dress makes him think that he is the king. In the same way, this dress that I'm having over my soul, my material body, makes me think I am this body. Religion is to go away from illusion. Religion means the truth. And the truth is given by God, because the purpose of religion is to understand Him, not to understand the material nature. The purpose of religion is not to become kind and merciful and tolerant and enlightened and loved. No, the purpose of religion is to understand our eternal relationship as servants of God. Once you understand that point and you put it into practice, guess what? Kindness comes as a byproduct, tolerance comes, non-violence comes, empathy comes, beauty comes, knowledge, everything comes from connecting with Krishna, because that is the reality. You don't have to practice it separately. Therefore, in the purport, Prabhupada immediately says that the purpose of the principles of religion are given by God. Dharman tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Navai vidu rishayo api devaha. So dharmam, or dharma means religion. Dharma means my eternal propensity to act, my scope of life, the purpose of my creation. That is dharma. And my dharma is to serve. In fact, I become happy even when I serve materially. If I give up selfishness and serve the public, serve the poor, I become happy. The problem with that service, it is temporary and it is based in illusion. It's like in a madhouse being very kind to all the mad people. Yes, among themselves, the madmen, the insane, they help each other. But the psychiatrist, the doctor, he understands what the reality is. So our reality is to be eternally connected with Krishna, and that is called our dharma, service. When that service is used to please Krishna, we become happy because we step into what is real. Just like it is real that my hand is attached to my body. It is real that when I put food in the stomach, my whole body becomes nourished. It is real that when I pour water on the root, the whole tree, leaves and branches, they become nourished. So in the same way, when I pour myself, my feelings, my activities, my consciousness to please Krishna, that becomes religion. It is called Krishna consciousness, or always remembering that I am not alone. There is two of us, there is Bhakti, there is Krishna and there is me. Whatever I do, I consult Krishna. I do everything in cooperation with Krishna, then everything will be perfect as long as I don't cheat. So, dharmam tu sakshat, navai vido rishayo api devataha. It is, religion is not manufactured by the rishi or the great sages. It's not manufactured by the devas, the great demigods, or by the Siddhya Mukhya Manusha, Asura, the demons or people in general. Kuto no Vidyadhara Charanda Daya. No, the Vidyadhara, demigods, the Charanas, the great musicians who live in the heavenly planets. All these people, all this category of humanity cannot manufacture religion. They have to take it from the source. Therefore, the very first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is referred to by Prabhupada in this comment, is Tene Brahma Ridaya Adi Kavaye. Tene means that him, Krishna, has given this knowledge, Brahma, spiritual knowledge, in the heart Adi Kavaye, of the original poet, the original sage, which is Lord Brahma, Swayambhu. Therefore, Lord Brahma is one of the 12 Mahajans. Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu. Lord Brahma is the first authority on spirituality. And so is his son, Narada Muni. And so is his other son, Lord Shiva. Kumara. So his sons, the Kumaras. Kapiladev, Manu. These are called Mahajans. Mahajana Jena Jata Mahajana Jena Gata Sapantaha. That by following the Mahajanas, Gata, by following the path, Pantaha, following the path, that is the goal, that is the destination. And what is the quality of a Mahajana? The quality of a Mahajana is that he has received the knowledge of Krishna from the heart. How has he received the knowledge of Krishna from the heart? By turning his consciousness away from the external identification of his body in the material world, but turning the consciousness into the spiritual consciousness within. So, tarko apratishtat, you cannot understand the purpose of life or religion by tarka, by argument. Shrutayo vibhinna, also within the Vedas, it is difficult to understand because the Vedas are given as a means of those souls who have become disconnected from God because they identify with the material world, because they want to enjoy separately from God, to give in that facility, the Vedic knowledge is given so that they can enjoy in the material world, but they don't forget the ultimate goal. So yes, they want people in the material world, they want beauty, they want knowledge, they want wealth, they want love, they want so many things. So the Veda says, yes, you can have all these things, but pray to God. In that way, if you understand that everything in the material world is coming by the grace of God, so even your wealth, even your beauty, even your knowledge can be turned around and used in the service of God. Because sooner or later, if you understand that everything you have is coming from God, sooner or later you will say, well, if everything is coming from God, let me at first at least thank Him, and second, at least ask Him, what am I supposed to do with these things that you're giving me? What is the purpose of my life? So this is religion. So Tarko Pratishtat, not the discussion, Shrutayo Vibhinna. Within the Shrutis or the four Vedas and Upanishads, it's difficult to understand Krishna's position. Naso Rishi Yasya, Nasam, Matam Nabinam. Also the Rishi, the great sages, Matam Nabinna, they don't agree with each other. I've explained previously that according to the Vedic system, there are 6 darshana, 6 methods of philosophical understanding. In fact, even the philosophical understanding we have here in the West, all our great philosophers like Kant and the Greeks, the Romans, all these great sages and philosophers, they fall within one of these 6 darshana. The first philosophical principle is called karma mimamsa, that if we do our duty very nicely, then we don't need to pray to God. He is obliged to help us because we do our duty. But doing the duty is not enough. For example, I may be sick and I may have the best medicine and the best doctor, I still can die. Or a child, despite the love and training and affection given by the parents, it might turn out badly. So work is not enough. You need a sanction of a superior power. So karma mimamsa is not the conclusion of one who wants permanent understanding of what is the purpose of life. So karma mimamsa. The next philosophy is called Sankhya. Sankhya philosophy was originally given by Lord Kapila, the son of Devahuti, who was a direct manifestation of Krishna, Krishna himself, and he explained that the purpose of analyzing the material elements is to understand God. Later on, an impostor, Kapila, came on the scene, and he used the same philosophy by saying that by the energy activities of the 26 elements, life comes. Life comes from matter. Nowadays, most of us scientists and philosophers, they believe in this Sankhya philosophy, that from matter, at some point, consciousness came. But that is not a fact. According to the Vedas, first comes consciousness. According to the original Kapila, Sankhya philosophy, the purpose of understanding the material elements is to understand that we're not the body, that we belong to God. So, karma mimamsa, nyaya, then Sankhya, then the third darshan is called nyaya. Nyaya means also analysis, but down to the level of the atom. The nyaya philosophers like Astavarka and Jaimini, they believe that the atom is the origin of life. Nyaya. Then you have another philosophy is Patanjali Yoga. Patanjali, he wrote the Yoga Shastras, from which the yoga we practice here in the West or even in India, called Ashtanga Yoga. It is just one of the asanas. It is just one of the 8 processes of yoga. Anyhow, this yoga is also one of the darshanas, Yoga by Patanjali. Then you have the Brahmavadis, who believe in the impersonal effulgence emanating from the body of Krishna. Beyond this universe, which is closed, there is the ocean of creation, and beyond the ocean of creation, there is the dazzling effulgence emanating from the body of Krishna. Just like in the material world, if you look at the sun, there is a dazzling effulgence. You cannot see. In fact, if you look at the sun too much, you can hurt your eyes. You cannot see past the dazzling effulgence. But beyond the dazzling effulgence, there is the sun planet, and in the sun planet is the sun god. He is the origin that emanates this effulgence. So this origin of this effulgence of the Brahmajyoti is Krishna. So the impersonalist philosophy, the Brahmavadis, they believe that this is the all in all, and they want to merge into this effulgence. But it is not encouraged because it's not the ultimate goal of life. Brahman realization is only the third step of understanding God. And indeed, even in the Shrutis, in the Upanishads, it is said, Hiranmayena patrena satyasya aphitam mukham. Hiranmaya means the blinding effulgence. Patra means curtain. Satyasya aphitam mukham. Let me see your face, my dear Lord. Remove this curtain. Tattvam pushana pavrinu satya dharmaya dristate. Let the satya dharmaya, this person who wants to know the truth, the practitioner of the truth, dristate, let me see. So this is the Brahmavadis. And the sixth darshana is the darshana which we practice, which has completely overshadows all the other five, and it is called the Vedanta, the conclusion of the Vedas, and that was given by Vyasadeva. So these six darshanas, are the method by which humanity tries to understand the relationship with God. So this is also mentioned, Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada in the purport, he mentions Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha is also an incarnation, and he came out of mercy for the poor animals. It's not that God only loves human beings. He loves equally the animals and the plants. In fact, he doesn't love the bodies. He loves the soul within. Don't think that because we kill an animal or because we kill a plant, there is any less reaction. The reaction is there because those animals are also dear to God. So when during the time of Lord Buddha, the Vedic knowledge was being misused to sacrifice animals, he came. And what did he do? Nindasi yagya vider haha shruti jatam. He kicked out this process of the shruti being misused to kill animals. Sa daya ridaya darshita pashugatam. By seeing by his eyes, daya ridaya, being very merciful within his heart, pashugatam, the killing of the animals. So Lord Buddha came. So like this, there are many, many, many incarnations of Krishna. And here Krishna says that yada yada hi dharmasya, when the real purpose of life, the real purpose of service is lost, tadatmanam srijamyaham. I come by my own power. Krishna is not born like us. He manifests himself by his own power. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, which is it's a condensation of all Vedic knowledge, spoken by Krishna, as only he can. Because Krishna perfectly understands what is the purpose of life. So when he speaks, he doesn't speak outside what is the purpose of life. He doesn't speak outside what is the truth. Therefore, Krishna is known as the absolute truth. He is the absolute truth because he never forgets. He never falls under the jurisdiction of illusion. Even we go to Krishna and pray to him in illusion, give me wealth, give me... Krishna understands our spiritual position. He doesn't give us anything which will be harmful to us. He doesn't give us anything which by giving it will cause us to again and again come back and petition him for the same thing, which is material enjoyment. Therefore, Krishna is not worshipped for that. And therefore, in India, many people don't worship Krishna because they know that if I go to Krishna, what to speak of Krishna giving me material enjoyment, he will take away my material enjoyment. So this was a discussion also between Yudhishthira and Krishna. Yudhishthira said, how come that Lord Shiva, who doesn't have any material opulence, he lives under a tree on top of a mountain, but his followers are all very rich and opulent. Krishna, on the other hand, he has hundreds of thousands of palaces. He lives at the height of royal splendor, but all his followers are poor. So Krishna says, the reason is that when somebody comes to me, I want him to become free from material life. Therefore, I take away all his impediments. Therefore, it's called Hari. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we have some comments from Atma Vidya. Hare Krishna. Good evening to all. Mandi Prior. Good evening, Prabhus. Krishna Premavati. Hare Krishna. My respectful pranams. Anna Maria. Hare Krishna, my obeisances to all the assembled devotees. And she continues, when trying to connect with Krishna, how can I open the door from my side to be able to feel that connection? Well, the door is in the heart. Just chant Hare Krishna and automatically the door will open. You don't have to attempt to open the door yourself. Actually, the door that keeps us separate from Krishna is a very strong door, and it has very strong locks. We cannot open it ourselves. We have to pray to Krishna, and then he will open the door automatically for us, because the door can only be opened from his side. And therefore it is said that Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte, by hearing, by beginning of hearing, for us, hearing means reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Hearing means listening to Srila Prabhupada's lectures. Hearing means trying to put into practice those teachings and those lectures. Then, Shuddha Chitta, our consciousness will become purified, Karayudoy, and the door will be open automatically. Thank you very much. So we'll see you on Friday. If you wish to comment, please continue to do so, and I will answer online. Hari Bol.